Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Let's Play Total Annihilation. I am your host, Narrows, and this seems to be strong. This can't possibly be right. I'm sure you all remember, not all that long ago, the Arm, after fighting their way back across, well, most of the galaxy really, successfully destroyed Core Central Consciousness, Core Prime, and the Core Commander himself. So what's he doing here? Well, as I believe I've mentioned, or if not, as you may have gathered, Core Contingency, the expansion pack, assumes that the ARM campaign was the canon ending for the game. In the storyline of Total Annihilation, the Core won the war, almost at least. They pushed the ARM all the way back to their homeworld of Empyreon, but at the very last minute, the ARM commander stepped forward and fought his way back, taking world by world, until eventually he took Core Prime itself. But the Core Commander was not destroyed. The Core Commander was a wily creature, and he had a contingency plan. And instead of being destroyed, as we believed, he instead fled through the depths of space to this world here, Hydros, the water world. Core Contingency was, I believe, Cave Dog's attempt to learn from StarCraft, to a degree at least, and that they're trying to tell a story with Core Contingency, as opposed to with the vanilla campaign, where they're just sort of where they're doing the whole two separate but exclusory campaigns that tell different stories. The two campaigns in Core Contingency basically tell two sides of the same story, and this continues right up until the very last mission, where they diverge again, because I guess Cave Dog just couldn't get over old habits. But yes, so the Core Contingency is a little more story-oriented, which is why we're starting with the Core instead of the ARM. Because the Core Contingency, the best way I feel to sort of experience the storyline for the first time, or at least experience the storyline in one cohesive sitting, is to alternate Core and ARM missions, right up until the end where you pick who actually wins. Oh, it's not gonna work. Now, you might notice there's a few interesting things around. First up, you'll notice that we are completely and totally underwater. Hydros is a, well, as the name suggests, it's a landmass with no land. It's a planet with no land. Landmass with no land? Hydros is 100% water. And in order to make constructing bases on such a map viable, the expansion pack has a few new units. First one you'll see right here, the underwater metal extractor. It's like a metal extractor, but it's underwater. Another unit we've got over here, a Stinger. It's a floating pulverizer. It's like a pulverizer, except you can build it on the water. There are some other buildings as well, the underwater metal storage and the underwater energy storage, which I can't build for some inexplicable reason. The underwater metal storage is like a metal storage, except it's underwater. The underwater energy storage is like an energy storage, except it's underwater. I can also make floating metal makers, which are like metal makers, except they float. Except that the core metal makers are kinda weird, because when they turn off, they sink. Are you starting to notice a pattern with some of these Core Contingency things? Yeah? But wait, you say there's more. Wait, I say that. Here's the Thunderbolt. It's basically a gat gun that floats. And the floating dragon's teeth. It's dragon's teeth that float. I think that's it for new units for now, but don't worry, there are more to come. Oh, and check out this guy. He's a sea serpent. Core Contingency added something else as well. That is, it added neutral units, wild animals. Of course, the Total Annihilation engine isn't actually capable of having more than two players in a campaign map. So those wild animals are actually just arm animals that patrol back and forward, and the arm doesn't move. But those are sea serpents. Sea serpents are extremely fast, extremely maneuverable, quite tough, and difficult to hit, and breathe fire. Basically, they are assholes. Oh, see, sea serpents rearing up to breathe fire. And the sea serpent has been destroyed. As you'll notice, sea serpents leave behind wreckage. And if you're just glance at that, you might think, holy shit, 1,316 metal, that's amazing. I know, that's kind of what I thought. But you might have forgotten something. Organics. Trees, plants, etc. leave behind energy when you reclaim them. That's 1,316 energy right there. Not metal. Yeah. Now, most of these naval missions are going to be they're going to be pretty slow. I might try doing one of them in easy a bit later, because as I have discovered, easy starts you off with like a lot more stuff to begin with. But this one's still a medium, and we'll see how it goes. I know what I'm going to see to a degree at least this time, so hopefully it's not too bad. Sea serpents are irritating, to say the least. I'm going to build a wall of floating dragon's teeth here, basically to bottleneck the enemy as much as possible. I don't want them coming at me through these huge, vulnerable open area here. I want them coming at me from down here. Now, part of the key I have discovered to these maps is getting advanced ships as quickly as possible. So we're going to build the advanced shipyard right now. Best to funnel the enemy down that way. Maybe we'll get to see the sea serpent breathe some fire. No, this one will. The fire actually does a lot of damage if it can hit something, but because of the sea serpent's movements and speed, they actually can't hit most things very well. As you can hear. But if they can draw a bead on something, or if something's standing still, they will in fact torch it pretty quickly. Look at this, got a new unit we can build. The Advanced Construction Sub. It's like an advanced construction K-bot or vehicle, except it's a sub. We've also got these new guys, Phantom, Shredder, and Leviathan. I'm going to be building lots of Shredders, and maybe a couple of Leviathans, mostly Shredders though. I won't be building any Phantoms. Phantoms are radar jammer ships. They're exactly like every other radar jammer unit, except they're a boat. Shredders are the desperately needed anti-airship. These guys have a pair of homing missile launchers and a flak cannon, which is also a new weapon introduced in Core Contingency, and they tear the crap out of aircraft. The enemy's going to be using a lot of aircraft on us, so these guys are going to be important. And the Leviathan battle sub is basically, it's one of these guys, except fucking massive and huge, and does a lot of damage, and can take a lot of damage, and is generally awesome and amazing. Oh, we got some new structures for the new water structures from our advanced construction sub. First up, advanced sonar. It's like sonar, only advanced. Yeah, it's just bigger sonar. Underwater fusion plant. It's a fusion plant, except it's underwater. Oh no, we're under attack. Anyway, yes, before I was interrupted, underwater fusion plant. It's a fusion plant, but guess what, guess what, guess what? It's underwater! Advanced torpedo launcher. These guys are actually kind of almost interesting. Advanced torpedo launchers they fire advanced torpedoes, which are big and fat and home and are awesome. And they're also completely underwater, meaning you pretty much have to use, torpedo planes on them, but you basically can't destroy them with anything else because they will just destroy the thing you're trying to destroy them with first. Because advanced torpedoes are pretty awesome like that. And there was another thing in there, wasn't there? Oh, what's this? Seaplane platform? What's a seaplane platform? I can't really answer the question what's a seaplane platform quite yet, but those things attacking me are seaplanes. And as you can see, they made a pretty quick work of what I had. They're fairly tough. Well, yeah, this is a naval mission. I think I've mentioned everything worth mentioning thus far. Core fled to this planet, we don't know why yet. This world is Hydros, I believe I've mentioned. And the arm followed him. We don't know what the core is up to, we just know that the core is still going. Core commander is here instead of being dead where he's supposed to be. And none of that can be good for the galaxy, because the core are the bad guys. And as I'm sure you all know, bad guys aren't good for galaxies. And I'll get around to the seaplane platform. In fact, seaplanes will be pretty much instrumental in my beating every single mission in this, because purely naval battles are terrible. Terrible. Hey, you got a shredder. Wonderful. You can see a little flat cannon in the middle there and the two missile launchers at each end. These are very, very useful boats. Yeah, this is just going to continue for a while. I mean, feel free to skip ahead. Normally I'd probably fast forward the in-game time for this, but I'm not sure when I'm going to get attacked, and I don't want... This is, like, It's really, really easy for this to still go backwards on me. And it's been 20 minutes, so I'd rather not have it go backwards on me. Yeah. So that looks like. I wonder if that was on purpose. So that looked a hell of a lot like the AI grabbed all its albatrosses and attacked me through the one part that wasn't defended. And if that's the case, then the AI has gotten a lot smarter than I remember it being. Fortunately, I have another shredder coming up. I can park him there. Solve that problem. Oh. I know this is riveting stuff, but we'll get to seaplanes soon, and once I've got a seaplane platform, I'll be able to start building an army of things to actually kill the enemy with. So that will hopefully improve matters somewhat. Come on, underwater fusion plan. This defense is working surprisingly well, I must say. Hey, floating metal makers. As you can see, our metal makers, except they float. They do, however, this when you turn them off, which is kind of neat. They sink underwater so you can hide them. theory, using the core underwater fusion plants and floating metal makers, you could create a completely underwater base using seaplane platform as well, since as you can see, seaplane platforms underwater. Now what does the seaplane platform do, you ask? Well, build seaplanes. That, it seems kind of, you know, obvious, really. But what are seaplanes? Well, seaplanes are basically planes Tech 1.5. They're better than normal planes, they're not quite as good as advanced planes, but they can take off and land in water. Which is a handy skill on all water maps. At the moment we can only build one seaplane, the Typhoon, which is the torpedo seaplane. But the thing about torpedo seaplanes is that they have both an anti-air missile and a torpedo, so they tear through ships. These guys are my main attack force. I can also build hunters, which are airborne sonars. I'll build a couple of those near the end if I need to sweep for any hidden little bastards. There you go. Seaplanes also have much more complicated animations. How it sort of folds out and unfolds. It looks really cool and awesome. Yeah. And then it lands in the water. Which is cool. Damn it, really? destroying my shit, as usual. Oh, hey, wow, that's a bunch of dudes. For those who are wondering, I am not a fish and I cannot breathe water. Attempting to do so results only in pain. Get some carriers out to repair our seaplane forces. Whoops. Looks like we've got some more power, which means it's time for more metal makers. In case you're wondering why I'm putting the stingers on top of the little islands, it's in the hopes that it might give them a little protection against torpedoes, because torpedoes won't go across those reefs, or atolls, or whatever the fuck they are. Okay, in the interests of keeping the game going, keeping the Let's Play going relatively quickly, I'm going to launch a attack with my seaplanes now, and if it fails horribly, I'm going to reload and reset. See how it goes. sure whether to call that a success or a failure. You know what, I took out a pair of seaplane construction things and a carrier. I'm going to call that a success. Oh, and you might also notice the unit limit has increased from 200 to 250. We have an entire 50 more units to play with. God damn it, Cape Dog. Okay, I think at this point there really isn't anything more I'm going to be doing here except waiting until I've got like 50 or so typhoons and then launching an attack, so I'm going to pause the recording and I will return with something interesting. And we're back. I think we're starting to do pretty well for our blob of jets. Got a nice ball of seaplanes here. Just go see what kind of damage we can do with it. Ooh, look, polyps. some arms, scum. As you can see, seaplanes are pretty fucking awesome. As you can see, I have somewhat expanded my seaplane production. Since I don't have construction speed seaplanes to speed build a single seaplane thingy, I have been forced to resort to mass production. Rightio, let's grab one of those radar planes that should be coming off the... So let's grab two of those radar planes that are coming off the... Let's go hunting. Alrighty. And I think that's it for the arm base. Now I believe it's just cleanup time. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna tell the Typhoons to patrol everywhere. And have them fix it themselves. So I'm pretty sure at this point I just need to clear up a few wandering ships and the occasional sea serpent. And Typhoons are more than equipped for that. As you can see, seaplanes are fucking amazing. They take forever to get to, but they are so awesome. Oh, hang on, what's going on? Uh-oh. That was weird. I don't know if that will show up in the recording, but I just had a really big frame rate spike. Alright, let's see if we can sweep up the remains. That was another sub, maybe. Yeah, sub. Hunt him down. Looks like there's just these two left. What, really? How the hell did he survive that? Yeah, survive that, motherfucker. And that's victory, ladies and gentlemen. I'll see you next time for Core Contingency, our Mission 1. Hopefully it will be slightly less boring. I don't think it will be. Goodbye!